This short lecture will introduce you to the concept of science and how science functions. Science can be divided into three broad areas. There are hard sciences, for example, physics and chemistry or astronomy. And there are life sciences, for example, biology and botany. And then there are social sciences like sociology, anthropology, psychology, geography, political science, etc. All of these sciences have something in common, and that is they use the same logic to generate information and to make sense of information. Very specifically, all sciences have in common these four steps in this order. The first step is description. The astronomer describes the sky, describes all the different kinds of stars and planets and orbiting bodies and so on. And so the first step of any science is to exhaustively and thoroughly describe the world around them. Botanists will go into a forest and look at all the different kinds of living things, the different kinds of trees and plants and so on. And so the first step is a comprehensive description, number one. The second step is categorization. We all have a general tendency to want to put things into little buckets or categories. And so using the example of the botanist, they will see that some trees drop their leaves seasonally, and some trees keep all of their green all year long. And so those are two different types of trees, two categories of trees. And so the first step is to describe all of the life, and then the second step is to categorize those life. Do they fall into logical or similar categories? And so step one is description, and step two is categorization. The third step gets at the why question. You're beginning to analyze, how is this the way it is? How is this category different from this other category? How are these two categories similar? And so on. And so you're beginning to probe deeper into whatever you're studying, be it planets or animal life or plant life, or in the case of sociology, human behavior. And so step one is description. Step two is categorization. Step three is analysis. And then finally, the final step and the most difficult step is explanation. Why is that so? And so if you imagine it, the first two steps are description and categorization. Those are the two what questions. What are we looking at? What do we have here? And the second two questions, second two parts of this, analysis and explanation, are the why questions. And so the first step is to figure out what we're looking at, and then we begin to analyze and explain it. We answer the why question. All sciences, be they hard sciences like astronomy, life sciences like botany, or social sciences like psychology or sociology, use the same mechanism. The other defining characteristic of the sciences, which I've just inferred in the last couple minutes, is that sciences proceed as much as possible objectively. That is, there's no bias, there's no value system placed on what you're seeing. You just see what is. You look at things as objectively as possible. You don't like or dislike something. That doesn't factor in at all. You merely describe as objectively as you can. And you want to be as thorough. You don't want to exclude things, leave things out, and focus on other things. You want to be thorough in your description. So you want to be objective, and you want to be thorough, and you want to be systematic. Go point by point by point by point. Be very systematic, and that helps you be thorough, and that helps you be objective. And so in sum, there are many sciences, And the sciences can be broken down into roughly three categories: the hard sciences, the life sciences, and the social sciences. And all of these sciences have in common the routine of how they proceed. 1, description; 2, categorization; 3, analysis; and 4, explanation. And they all proceed through those steps objectively, thoroughly, and systematically. So that's a brief introduction to science.